My name's Josh, welcome to Keyboard Talks, and this is the new Korg B2. It's their entry-level instrument, entry-level digital piano, replacing the old Korg B1. Now the Korg B1 was a good instrument, but it had a few issues. In fact, there were some really great things about the B1, but there were some also really stupid things about the B1 as well. Whenever I looked at it, I was kind of like, yeah, it's good, but there's this problem and this problem and this problem. Whereas with the Korg B2, a lot of those things seem to have been fixed. Now the Korg B1, which is the old model, was designed as my first digital piano kind of instrument. It was for someone who hasn't played piano before, coming to it for the very first time. The only problem with that is there's a lot of people who like 88-note instruments who want to use it for recording or want to use it maybe even on stage. The problem with that is the B1 was missing a whole bunch of stuff. It was missing things like layering and splitting. It was missing a proper headphone output. It only had a 3.5mm jack, not a proper 1/4-inch jack. Didn't have USB or MIDI, and the pedal connection was some silly proprietary connection. It was a real shame because the B1 had a lot of positive things. It had a really great action, had really good speakers, great sounds. So for all the good things that there were in the B1, it was kind of offset by the bad things. Well, Korg have addressed a number of those things in the B2. So for a start, the first thing they've kept is the action. The action feels great. It's their NW action that Korg used on the B1. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they kept the action. And it feels great, it feels natural. It's not a class-leading action, it's not the best in the world, but it does feel natural, and that's kind of the key thing. It's probably a little bit heavier than most actions at this price, so that's kind of nice. The other thing that I love about the Korg B1 is how it looks, and they've kept that with the B2. The look is great. It's simple, it's modern, clean lines, you've got this nice speaker grill, this kind of fabric. It looks modern and it's skinny as well. So even though it's deep this way with the speaker grill, it's skinny this way. So it looks really pleasant. It's going to look really nice in a living room or in a study or even on stage. It's really, really nice. The other thing that they've kept is the quality of those speakers. But what they have done is they've greatly improved the quality of the piano sounds. So a really detailed, rich piano sound. And that's the thing that really stands out about the B2. It's got a lot of detail and a lot of depth in their pianos that their competitors just don't have. It's really, really impressive. As I press this sound button here, it cycles through the sound. So this is a more warm version of that tone. And now the Italian. So really detailed, really rich. Korg have done a really great job on those pianos and they really stand out. And to get the variety of tones is awesome. The next thing that they have included are great electric pianos, and that's something Korg has always done really well. You've got a Rhodes style instrument. And a Wurlitzer. And of course, a Korg M1. Super cheesy, super 80s, but you know, Korg M1, what more can you expect, to be honest? And to have those three tones sounding so full and so deep, they've got really good bass response, that's really impressive for an instrument at this price. Let's keep looking at the other sounds. Yeah, that's a no from me. That's a harpsichord, and that ain't great. Let's just move on. The next one's a pipe organ. I don't use a lot of pipe organs, so it's kind of interesting that it's there. I mean, it sounds okay, but not something I use a lot. Something I use a bit more of is this one. Really nice drawbar sound. And then my favourite one, the newest addition to the collection of sounds. That string sound. So that's a pretty nice addition, and something that the old version, the B1, just didn't have a string sound at all. It was a glaring omission, but now that they've added it, it's really great, and thank you, Korg, for doing that. Something that they haven't done, though, is they haven't added the ability to layer or to split. Now, they have added like a duet split, which kind of splits the keyboard in half, but it shifts the octaves so two people can play. It's like a teacher-student mode, but a true split and a true layer still not on this instrument, which is a bit of a shame. And it also still has the less than great proprietary connector for the sustain pedal. Now, the pedal they've included is really nice, just like on the B1, but that connector, it's very frustrating. It does mean you will be able to add in a triple pedal system that Korg do produce, but if you ever lose this pedal, you're kind of locked into having to buy another Korg specific pedal. Something that we can have, though, is better I/O, and Korg have been brilliant on this because they've added in the thing that the B1 needed the most to the B2, and that is USB. It can be connected to a laptop or a tablet or a smartphone, and you can send MIDI data to and from the keyboard, which is awesome. So you can record on your device, and you can send the MIDI data back to the keyboard, which is really good. But the thing that I'm most impressed with is this doesn't just have USB MIDI, it actually has USB audio as well. So you can send and receive audio signals to a computer and send audio back to the speakers. So with the audio out, I can play my keyboard here, and my recording and my computer can actually detect the audio that I'm playing. Now, that's a big deal. In fact, I'm recording this in this review right now using the USB cable. I'm actually not running through an audio interface or a separate recorder. It's just going straight through the USB. And with my Mac, when I set this thing up, I didn't have to install drivers. It just suddenly appeared, and I could record straight into Ableton. So who should buy this? Well, I don't think this has changed as a My First Digital Piano. This is still going to be for someone who's starting to play for the first time. If you're thinking about playing, this is worth looking at. The piano is an awesome tone, really great tones there, and I think, I would compare it to something else, maybe a Yamaha or a Casio. They've some good options there, but the quality of the piano here is so good, really rich, and the action feels really great. But now that they've added in USB, it makes it a little bit better as a My First Digital Piano, but it also is a great performance instrument. In fact, I could see this being used on stage. The issue that I have with the splitting and layering, it kind of doesn't matter, because with the USB, I can connect it to Mainstage, I can connect it to Ableton, I can connect it to Omnisphere, you can connect it to whatever and do all the splitting and layering and motion synths and whatever you want with your software. So this is a really cool option. Now, in Australia, it seems to be going in the vicinity of $650 to $700, depending on who you talk to. And overseas, that will vary. I think this is going to be one to look at, and maybe one that should be at the top of your list or high up your list of options to try out. The Korg B2, it's a serious contender now. Anyway, you've been watching Keyboard Talks. I just want to give a quick shout out to the team at Keyboard Corner for providing me this instrument. If you did enjoy this video though, why don't you press the subscribe button? I'm going to be doing more videos just like this every single week, and if there's something you want to see me talk about or review, leave a comment in. Also, check me out on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me at Keyboard Talks, and I'll be posting more videos on this YouTube channel every single week. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next Keyboard Talks.